We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Oh my God, this is so close. Can you believe it? No. This is like, I cannot believe this.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA. To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Okay, so now he agreed that Elon Musk is heading the department, because before he didn't. Nobody wanted to agree that. Wow.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education, the most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby. Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find that money's going. That we can find, feed inflation, bring down, slashing all of the food. We will defend mortgage rates, lower car payments, and today interest rates took a beautiful drop, big beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators, who are allowed to, the Democrats, the administration, the open border, insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country. We were creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. Good luck. And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America. And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world. And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs
Condescending.
100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And
I
South
can't hear
Korea's
you.
average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4
I'm
times
trying to
higher.
listen to him
And we give
not
so much help militarily and
do
in so
much
many other
so
ways
I
to
can
South
actually
Korea, but that's what
process I'm
happens.
saying.
This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money, but we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back
The
and forth.
company that
Whatever they
gets the
tax us,
most business
we will tax them.
likes the tariffs.
If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said
I'm
over
that
the
woman
last
in the back
3
checking
months
her
about
clock,
Mexico
ready
and
to
Canada.
go.
When is this
But we have
over?
very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and
People here are
many
also
very young,
making it.
beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Well, I think I won bingo.
You think?
I did. I think I did.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible
Which one are
thing.
you
We give
doing?
hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it.
Remember, we're
All that
doing
meant
three, not
to
just
them,
one.
we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Yup.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because those goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers starting on April 2nd. It may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases. And I said, just bear with me. And they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again. And this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases. And we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it. And it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers,
Kamala, got
have
it.
a lot of fun. I love you too.
You did
I love you
good,
too.
Mom. You did it
It's all going to happen.
JD does the weird eye thing.
Yep.
And I have also
it.
imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel because
Talks about
if we
tariffs.
don't have, as an
Yeah, he
example,
talks about
steel
tariffs.
and lots of other things, we don't have a military and frankly won't have, we
There's
just
the
won't have a
military.
country very long.
Talks about the immigrants.
Here today is a proud
and over.
American steelworker,
You.
fantastic person from Decatur,
Dems hold
Alabama.
up protest
Jeff
signs.
Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the
Talks
captain
about eggs.
of his local volunteer fire department, raised 7 children with his beautiful wife,
And then
Nicole,
that lady that was
and over
sweaty
the
with
years
the
provide a
scissors
loving
block.
home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Well, here we go. They're talking about pigs again. So here we come with the. Now who done
Thank
told
you,
them
Jeff.
black people?
God.
Thank you, Jeff.
I can't.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting
You know what they
American
haven't
jobs.
done? They haven't
They're about
held,
protecting the
held
soul
down the empty egg
of our
cartons.
country.
Might
Tariffs
not
are about
happen.
making America rich
Or they
again
were-
and making
they were
America
the
great
same
again, and
color
it's
that-
happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not.
See a Latino there, I'm gonna be real pissed.
And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to
He's been
recognize
talking all that
another person
hatred
who has devoted herself to
immigrants.
foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Oh God.
See, that's why it's in the other bingo.
Oh look. Another World War II look-alike outfit.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John.
You see how they pom-poms every time that he tells somebody to.
Thank you all very
No.
much.
I'm not mad at the Take It Down
Thank
Act,
you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate
but does
Great
it apply
job.
to
to
everyone? Is
criminalize
the
the
question.
publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look
I'm in
forward
favor
to
of it.
signing that
Yeah,
bill
no, I agree.
into law.
But does it
Thank
apply
you.
to
And I'm
everyone?
going to use that bill for myself too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in
Another one.
our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
We haven't mentioned Zelensky yet.
¿Tu novio dónde está?
And I want to thank Tom Homan and
Friend
Christy. I
didn't
want to
show
thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a
Melania.
job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement
Elonia didn't
in
show
general
up.
is incredible.
Elonia
We have to
Musk,
take care of our
you
law
know?
enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by
Our
everybody,
parents are going to be
proudly
so
jogged on
upset
the
about
campus
this.
of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's
Angel.
beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
Also, they went. I was humming and humming. They were doing about don't use our daughter to pass laws, and now they there. Suspect to me. Real suspect. Because they were talking about don't make our daughter's name political. But what you doing there?
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first
Treasure.
bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Wow.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Let me keep my mouth shut. I don't want to. Let me keep my mouth shut.
So, you talking
Thank you.
cult yet?
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over
Look at
them
them
to
chanting.
overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and
Chanting.
communities throughout the country.
It
Entire
reminds
towns like
me
Aurora,
of an
Colorado,
era
and
not long
Springfield,
ago.
Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and
Like-
corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are
Oh.
achieving the
you
great
guys said
liberation
Jedi's.
of America.
I'm such an independent.
Mija, borra esa vaina que tocaba de hacer.
What?
Lo que-
But there still
Bórralo.
Missing. That's all I was missing.
is much
But that-
work
Yeah,
to be
bórralo
done.
como quiera.
Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know,
Mejor para de grabar
Alexis
y bórralo.
Nengary from Houston. Wonderful
No,
woman.
because it's
Last
like
June,
life is
Alexis's
happening right
12-year-old daughter, her precious
Yeah, well, make
Jocelyn,
sure when you
walked
stop
to a
it and
nearby
you
convenience store.
Cut it.
She was
but what I
kidnapped,
was
tied up,
saying is,
assaulted
that's
for
all
2
they
hours
have-
under
that's
a bridge,
all they have
and
left to do.
horrifically
Oh,
murdered.
100%.
Arrested and
But
charged
Like
with
that,
this heinous
that's all
crime are
they
2
needed to
illegal
lift their
alien
hand, and that
monsters
was
from
it. We're back
Venezuela,
then.
they
released
look like
into America
robots.
by
That's
the
what I'm
last
saying. Like, they were
administration through
chanting
their
like that, and I was
ridiculous
saying, all they
open
need
border.
is to lift their hand,
The
because
death
that's
of this
all that's
beautiful
left, you know?
12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly.
Oh God, here we go.
Alexis, I promised
I mean, I
we
have
will
friends
always
and I
remember
know
your daughter,
people's
your
family members
magnificent
who have
daughter.
died
And
at the hands of
earlier
white
tonight,
people.
I signed
we
an
parade
order
them too, like
keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a
There's your
magnificent national wildlife refuge,
Said I was gonna be a
a
Latina
pristine,
family.
peaceful,
There we go.
34,000 acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
now we're naming things after people. I'm not copying.
Oh, and there's another one. Oh, we should text him. You should definitely text him.
Thank you very much. All 3 savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua.
I thought it was
2
the
weeks ago, I
Mara. Now it's
officially
them.
designated this gang, along with
I will-
MS-13 and the
I will
bloodthirsty
actually
Mexican
say
drug
that it's not
cartels
even
as
them, like,
foreign
they're-
terrorist
they're fucking
organizations.
terrorists, I would say. I don't know at this point.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border
let's
Patrol agent
taxpayer pay
Roberto
for them to stay
Ortiz.
here in jail.
Great guy.
Got it.
Look her. I want to change his name now.
Ortiz.
I bet he want to change his last name now.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande, near an
Rio
area
Grande.
known as
I'm sorry,
Cartel
Rio
Island.
Grande.
Doesn't sound too nice to me. when heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them. Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning
I
fire
can't believe that now
and
they
providing
just
crucial seconds for his fellow agent to
de Rio
seek
Grande.
safety.
what?
Just barely.
Always mentioned it, but
I have
it's
some
still
of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
people to arrest and then return to you. Remember that. You one of us until you ain't.
Thank you, Roberto.
Yeah.
That's what he's really saying.
And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great, great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Yes, it is.
5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it.
Live streaming.
I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So,
Didn't Obama
Mr.
break
Speaker,
the
Don
deportation
Thu,
record?
both of you, I hope you're going to be able to
Obama
do that,
did.
Mr.
Yeah,
Speaker.
he's the
Thank
one that
you.
deported the most people.
Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
¿Cuántas violaciones hay entre esos tres?
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
God,
In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi, good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash.
Another idiot with no experience.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country, our firemen and
Do the police officers respect the
we'll
law
never
too?
forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
Oh, now he respects the fire department. But only if it's not in California.
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them.
Oh, damn.
I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and 1-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Sí, que suena como una foca aplaudiendo.
Well,
Como una foca. Like a
Stephanie,
seal
we're going to
clapping.
make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
oh, wow.
We're just killing people left and right.
Let's just kill the ones that we don't want.
Women
also
who are
asking
having
For a new crime bill
abortions,
getting
kill
tough
'em.
on repeat offenders
Yeah.
Anybody
while
who
enhancing
kills
protections
cop,
for America's
kill 'em.
police
No,
officers
we're gonna have to go
so they can do their
GTA
jobs
kinda
without
like
fear of their lives being
GTA
totally
all
destroyed.
of it.
They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
We just killing people.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Mira, mira, mira. That poor baby. What he doing there?
Pobrecito, ¿por qué le hacen eso al pobre? He's 13, but he looks so young. Right?
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than
Here comes
6
what you
years
were
ago.
saying. Yeah, we can see like the surgery.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Nice.
Texting family.
Oh, look at that. I'm such a crybaby for things like that. Like, oh my god.
I was looking because I can't cry. I'm not trying to cry
Oh,
on this
I'm already crying for
at
you.
10 o'clock at night because then I can't sleep if I cry.
Thank you, DJ.
Wait, that is, he didn't have to do that. And he
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%.
That is true.
Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
He just canceled cancer research on all levels. We haven't gotten any FDA communications in weeks.
Listen,
Blatant lie.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering.
right?
How quickly they forget.
Holy sh!
Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong.
I'm
As an
texting
example,
all the pharmacists.
Not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
Bobby.
Look at it.
I love how he has nicknames for all of them, right?
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
Yeah, because putting Bibles in the school isn't indoctrination.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
No more nose jobs for 16-year-olds or boob jobs.
And now I want Congress to
for
pass a
when they
bill
turn
permanently
16.
banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body.
You know,
Oh,
It's
bullshit.
a big lie.
There's no nose jobs or boob jobs for child mutilation. If it goes
And our
one way,
message
it has to go the
To
other.
every child in America is
but
that
I
you are
think that every-
perfect exactly the way God made you.
You can't have it both ways. Just saying.
I honestly feel that you can wait. That is not something that you have to do.
Because we're getting
You can also
wokeness
wait
out of
for a
our
boob
schools
job and a
and
nose
out of
job.
our military,
Unless
and
it's
it's
medically
already out.
necessary. I don't think it's
and
that
it's
you
out
need
of
to
our
go and get a
society.
nose
We
job
don't
or
want
go
it.
and get boobs done.
Wokeness
Unless
is
it's
trouble.
medically necessary.
Wokeness is bad.
There
It's
are a lot of
gone. It's
16-year-olds.
gone.
That's what they get
And we
for their
feel so
16th
much better
birthdays.
for it, don't we?
Saying
Don't
that
we feel better?
this is for the unborn. Like, it's your body, you should make a
Our service members won't
But
be
there's
activists
also the
and
sense of
ideologues. They will be
your
fighters
body
and
still
warriors. They
developing
will
at that
fight
age.
for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
Look, this is what it was that we were talking about.
This is the DUI guy.
Yeah, he's probably drunk. That's why they don't put him.
And he's not
Always
big
drunk.
into the woke movement, I can tell you.
Oh, and he's a wife beater
well.
too.
I am pleased to
Is it?
report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference.
Yeah, because all these lonely men are angry. Oh, míralo ahí, borracho.
Oh, yeah, ya le enseñaron.
And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Yes, because everybody's gonna sign up for the military during Christmas.
We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Now he's gonna give him full scholarship to West Point.
Con ese cuerpo para West Point.
Kind of short for West Point.
He's short.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But
Oh, he got in?
I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
So now we just putting people in.
Yeah. Yep. Look at all of these. He's crying. She's crying.
Two of them that are like, that's not how we do it.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long
Oh,
gray line,
Ilonia está
Jason.
ahí. Pero a
As
Ilonia la
Commander-in-Chief,
tiraron para allá
the
atrás.
focus is on building
La
the most
tiraron,
powerful
güey, no la
military of the
dejaste
La
future.
tiraron para
As
atrás.
a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
A dome? What?
Is he trying to Simpson us?
And Ronald Reagan
wanted
wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's
Oh.
incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim? Right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
Quiere hacer muchas cosas. ¿Con qué cuarto?
And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make
Lo
them
cuarto
anymore
que
very
va a
much.
robar en esa
But we're going to
oficina.
make them very fast, very soon.
I bet you this is
It will have
gonna
a
be
huge
these
impact. To further enhance our
companies
national
building
security,
these ships.
my
It's not
administration will
Elon
be
Musk
reclaiming the
building it.
Panama Canal, and
Oh,
we've
here we go
already
for the
started doing
Ringo,
it.
Ringo, Ringo.
Sir, the Panama Canal is not yours. It
Bingo.
has not been yours.
Just today, a
for
large
years.
American company announced they are buying
I
both
made my
ports
Ringo.
around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
Oh,
The
shit.
Panama
Only
Canal
one
was built by
canal.
Americans
Other
for
canals.
Americans, not for others, but others could use it.
Oh,
But it was
God.
built at tremendous
Es verdad
cost of
que vale,
American
Dios de la
blood and
Bárbara, que no
treasure.
tiene que dar
38,000
coño.
workers died building the Panama
You
Canal.
cannot be
They
sharing
died of
your
malaria.
edibles
They
with
died of
Trump
snake
because
bites
he's
and
making those
mosquitoes. Not a
canals.
nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing
Yo,
there
my
was a
edible is not
25%
hitting,
chance
okay?
that they would die.
Listen, you need
The most
you're not
expensive
sharing
project
that with us
also that
because
was ever
My
built in
edible
our
did not
country's
hit.
history, if you bring it up to modern day costs.
I think it's
It was
getting
given away
good.
by the Carter administration
Yeah.
for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Leave these people alone.
Wow. We're gonna have to give it back to
And we have
Colombia because
Marco
Panama was
Rubio
Colombia.
in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got
Marco Rubio,
100
another
votes.
bootlicker.
You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Oh God.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security.
Sir,
And I think
Greenland
we're going
does
to get
not.
it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
I can't.
We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before.
Sir, you have to
It's
ask
a very small
Denmark
population,
about
but very, very
Greenland. That's
large
not how
piece
it
of land,
works.
and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top
And
terrorist
November of
responsible for
last
that
year.
atrocity. And he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Yeah, that's why I said he should be talking to Denmark.
There's not that many people there, though.
No. But you know, he said something about giving Greenland $1 million per person to leave.
And I want to thank
that
especially the
would
government
bankrupt-
of Pakistan
would
for helping
bankrupt
arrest
us.
this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13
it's a
families who I actually got to know very well,
Huh?
most of them,
So wait.
whose children were
Greenland
murdered, and
is
the
a kingdom.
many
meaning
people that were so
nothing
badly,
to
over
explain.
42 people,
Does he want
so
to
badly
be
injured on that
now?
fateful day in Afghanistan. What a
You didn't
horrible
see
day.
the Gaza video?
Such incompetence was shown.
It's
that when
beautiful, though.
Putin saw what
Did you
happened,
Did you see the
I guess
Gaza
he said,
video?
wow, maybe this is my
No,
chance.
I
That's how bad it was.
Girl.
Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight.
It's all
I
ice.
spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever.
They're part
In the
of
Middle
the
East, we're
European
bringing back
Union.
our
I
hostages from
sent it
Gaza.
through
In my
Instagram so we
first
could
term,
see
we
it.
achieved one of the
What,
most
really?
groundbreaking peace agreements
The
in
video.
generations, the
Oh, okay.
Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a
Here we
rough
go.
neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
You know who's Pocahontas, right?
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by
It's not that
billions and
much.
billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
That would be huge if he accomplishes that.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
I thought he was going to announce that they signed it, because that would have been the cherry on top tonight.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
Wow, she looks good for 95. She
Say-
looks good for 95. She looks good for 95. Boy, he's by Melania too.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I
Now comes his
met
Eve.
his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do.
I
He
mean,
threw
I'm
himself on
sorry for these people and all, but like, why are we still talking
Them
about these like
bullet-
sad stories?
his own body.
Like, this is supposed to be
He
about
was
what's
hit
coming in
really
the next
hard.
Like,
He's
You know the
trying
story
to
from
appeal
there.
to
He
the
sacrificed
American
his life to
people,
save theirs.
poor
Two others,
people,
very
poor
fine people, were also seriously hit.
poor. Let me tell you
But
how
thankfully, with the
affected.
help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent.
good job. It's
We're
great that
joined
he was able to get doctors.
Corey's
People
wife,
can't afford
Helen,
fucking health
who was
insurance.
his high school
And now
sweetheart,
you took
and their
Medicaid
2
away.
beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
Seriously.
You see how short my hair is?
Is that the vice president's wife? Yep.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking
Look at
down
your
on
hair.
his 3 beautiful ladies right now,
Ebony.
and he is
Oh my
cheering you
God.
on. He loves you.
What
I
is-
cut
He
it.
is cheering you on.
What's going on with your hair?
Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of
Like
the
yourself?
selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before.
Seriously.
I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
Oh, there it is. The other window.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think I'd rather have my dad.
Half of the Democrats are gone.
I wouldn't even have shown up.
Yeah, no, look at that. The walkout. Like a whole it was
Thank
full,
you
but
very
a lot
much.
of
From the
them left.
patriots of
I wouldn't even
Lexington
have
and
gone. I would
Concord
have stayed
to
home.
the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies,
He's
and from the
lied a whole
legends who
bunch of times.
soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon. Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to
Announcement
defend our children, our
that he
country,
was
and our freedom.
saved by God.
And as we have
to
seen
make
in this
America
chamber
great
tonight,
again.
that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will
We've always
always
been
be
free,
free,
sovereign, and
and we will
independent.
fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country,
I don't know if he knows
because
that.
we are a country of doers, dreamers,
Does he not
fighters, and
realize that we've
survivors.
always been free,
Our
sovereign, and
ancestors
independent?
crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities, these warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization
black
ever
and brown
to exist
people
on the
that
face of
actually
this
helped
earth.
build this country?
We are going to create the highest quality of
You
life,
know,
build the
the
safest and
slaves that
wealthiest
actually
and
built this country?
healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world.
Okay.
We are going to conquer the
Trying to
vast
be nice,
frontiers of
but,
science, and we're going to
the country that they
lead humanity
stole.
into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
We're going to Mars now. There is the announcement for Elon after he leaves Doge.
Lovely. Oh, look. The lovers.
Got the Democrats walking out.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
I just can't.
chanting
My fellow
again.
Americans, get ready for an
Jesus.
incredible
I
future
told you to give me
because
the hand.
the golden age of America has only
Stop doing
just
that.
begun. It will be like nothing that has ever
That's all they
been seen
need.
before. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America.
The chant right
You
at the
talked
end.
for way too long.
The chant right at the end.
Democrats suck at being together. They should have walked out together. Or if they were going to be there, they should have been chanting. Like, oh, they suck on messaging.
But you know what it is? I have to give it to them. The Democratic Party is broken. And like, unless they fix it, they're not going to win another election. Like, Trump can be the worst. You know, I don't agree with some of his stuff, but he has unified the Republicans.
Thank you.
For good or for bad, he has unified the party. And the Democrats
Also has a lot of power behind them too. Let's not.
The thing is,
That's why too.
the thing is that the Democrats don't speak unified, and they don't speak unity.
That's what I'm saying.
And
They don't have a message together, a together
Exactly.
message.
There is a lot of divide on it, and because there is so much divide on it, there is no, there is no reason why to follow a party of divide. Like in my case, I'm independent. I don't go for Trump. I don't go for Democrats because of that. Because the way that the agenda has changed, the things that attracted me perhaps to the Democrats or that attract me to the Republicans, and they're there.
I'm not attracted to Republicans at all.
I do like some of their conservative views.
I'm not attracted to Republicans at all because their core views are way too out there for me that even if I liked one or
to the right or too extreme to the right?
Too extreme to the right. Because even if I liked one or two things on their messaging and stuff like that.
Dear President Trump.
Dear President Trump.
Dear President Trump. Dear President. President Trump.
Mr. President.
I would like to
Stop.
thank President Trump because if it wasn't
I don't wanna
for
hear
him, I
this.
wouldn't be here today.
To President Trump, I just want to thank you for taking the steps to protect vulnerable children like my daughter. And on behalf of all parents, I want to thank you for giving us hope.
President Trump, thank you for what you've done for America. Thank you for putting America first and doing the things that you promised to continue to ensure the manufacturing vibrancy of the steel industry.
Thank you, President Trump, for giving me this opportunity to
Take
be
this
a
off.
light for foster care community and the adoption community.
We thank you for saving our jobs. I have my job back because of you.
Genuinely, it means the absolute world to me and every other female athlete and just female in general because you
There are
have just
10. 10.
absolutely been a champion and
10.
stood up for us and fought for
Relax.
us and have listened to
10.
us.
Thank
Out
you
of
for
500,000.
honoring Jonathan, for continuing his story, for representing law enforcement.
I just want to thank you for everything that you've done since my husband passed at the rally. You've been so wonderful to my family, and I'm so
Lágrima de
grateful.
cocodrilo.
I want to
No la
thank you for
veo.
making sure this country does not forget my dad and the sacrifice he made. Thank you for all the support.
I just want to thank you for involving our family. It's meant more than you could probably ever imagine.
I want to thank you very much for the things that you have done and that are doing for the American people to bring things back to America, America first.
Thank you to the First Lady and Mr. President for giving me an opportunity to share my story and ensure that no one has to go through this nightmare. Thank you for being a champion of America's youth.
We want to thank you for everything you've done for us, to giving us the means to do our jobs
Quicker.
correctly. And because of you, we're keeping the border much safer than it was before.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really looking forward to tonight at the address, and thank you so much.
From the bottom of my absolute heart and my family's heart, we truly appreciate everything that you've done for us, and it means absolutely the world to bring justice to my daughter, to Jocelyn, and to every other family to not have to go through what we're going through. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything.
Okay. That was the State of the Union address.
Well, thank you very much. And today
Just,
we're delighted to swear in our next Director of National Intelligence,
don't
Tulsi
forget, go
Gabbard.
to America.
Most of you know Tulsi. She's
No
a
more.
fantastic woman. Tulsi,
Give me a
I want to just congratulate you, your husband, Abraham,
Oh,
your
good.
sister.
No more.
Let me just do my channel.
Yeah, just your channel. No more. We don't want our channel to be political.
No.
No more.
What?
I definitely think that, again, like I was saying, I can understand, and I, like you, I can definitely what's the word I'm looking for? I can see things that I can be like, those are reasonable, middle ground, reasonable things that I can agree with on either side, Republican versus Democrat or whatever. But fundamentally, the core values that this Republican Party has, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just can't agree with. The persecution of the LGBTQ, especially plus trans community, is too much. The persecution on and the language behind of how they speak about immigrants is too much for me. The blatant disrespect to the immigrant community, now officially having an English language, making English an English language, speaking about Latinos in sweeping generalizations. It's such a bad taste in my mouth, like the negativity that it builds. Because we're not free. We still have a lot of tension between ourselves. So adding this fuel to the fire that it's already been there, I don't think it makes for good community in general.
Okay. To be honest with you, I just feel like this is like a celebrity government office where it's popularity contest. Everything is by merit, doesn't really exist. It's more like who's popular, who has the money, who's gonna bring the dollars, or who's gonna bring the viewers, that sort of thing. And while I agree with some of the things, before we actually joined the live, we were talking about some of the things that he's doing with the whole budget plan and how it would work, why it wouldn't work. There are some things that we can agree are good, but you're right. There are a million other things that perhaps are not where we want to be or where we want to have our country to be. So it's concerning, but like I was telling you, we are leaving the legacy of what Biden left, and we're not really going to see the worst of things until Trump leaves or towards the end of Trump, right? So right now, we think it's bad. Wait until he's gone. Wait 4 years from now, and we really gonna struggle because
it only took Hitler 90 days to take over the entirety of Germany.
Wait until I'm telling you, the difference is, I was telling you earlier, there are a lot of things that will make it different today. A lot of people compare it to that, but I gotta say, there are a lot of.
I remember Hitler was working with other countries to take over, which is what a lot of people don't remember about that time, was that there are a lot of, he had backing. It wasn't just himself. You know what I mean? Like, he had financial backing.
Yeah,
from people in different countries.
But at the same time, I just feel, I'm not saying that it isn't the case, Carla, but what I'm saying is we need to understand where we stand, what we can do, and what we don't have any control over. The way the situation is right now, we don't have any control over that. We don't. If we did, it would have been another story. We had control last year when we were supposed to go out and vote. We were supposed to go out and do all those things. That's when we had control. We right now can't say shit. If you didn't go and vote, then you shouldn't even be complaining. You didn't go out and vote.
I voted.
I did too, but I'm saying there are
That's
a lot
why I
of
can.
people,
I'm a big believer in if you don't vote, you don't get to complain
and
at all.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of people are now complaining, but there are a lot of people that didn't vote it.
Oh, like 9 million people.
So if you don't want, if you don't want what you're seeing, then you should have voted. Because it
100%.
could have made a difference. But now that, it didn't make a difference because you didn't vote, like, you're going to start complaining? No, 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 no. There's no complaining allowed. There is, whatever it is that you're thinking, who's going to pay attention? I'll pay attention when you vote. If you didn't vote, I don't want to hear it.
And most of the loudest voices that you hear are the ones that don't vote.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that. That is why I'm saying that.
Because I have somebody who's real loud about a lot of things, doesn't really know what's happening,
yeah,
and doesn't vote.
So there is this, and I don't know who reads Reddit. I think you do, Carla.
Yeah, I do. I like my Reddit.
Yeah, so I think you like Reddit. There is this group that talks about the similarities. It talks about the similarities of modern America, which is what we live in today, and Nazi Germany. And it's by and I had to look it up because I don't know. It's an anonymous Reddit, but she goes by Anonymous Miss Girl. And there is so much stuff in there that it's like, when you are to compare apples to apples, there are things that are going to be apples to apples, but there's a lot of apples oranges. But people confuse the two. So I think that, are we a risk? Is this a risk of a dictatorship, of, other things? I think there is a lot of thresholds in our government that will prevent it from getting to that level. Are we a risk? I think so. I think that Democrats didn't play with the right cards, and now our democracy is on a gamble. But because of that, I'm not going to say that some of the things that Trump is doing with this new modern America view of MAGA, that some of those things are not needed for us to be able to move to the next level, for us to retake the position as a country that is the leader across the world. Now, it's a creating struggle. Every change creates a struggle. Every change kind of shakes everything up. And I think that's what it's doing. It's shaking everything up, and people are not happy of how it's being shaken up. And I don't necessarily agree that it's being shaken up the right way, but it is being shaken up, and that's what people see, just the shaken up. Let's see how we stand after the whole shaken up.
I'm preparing for bad and preparing for the worst. One or the other. Bad or worse. You know what I mean? It's one or the other. You got to prepare for both.
And then I was going to tell you, remember how we were talking about the Great Depression, and we were talking about, Germany and all of that. In the Reddit post that I was telling you, there's someone that says America is becoming weak and fragmented. Treaty of Versailles imposed several separations reparations, territorial losses, and military restrictions. I wonder if Trump knows. And the reality is that there are always going to be people that don't agree, and there are going to be people that agree. Another person says German nationalism gave birth to the Nazis and Hitler. American nationalism gave birth to the MAGA.
It's true. Do you know what MAGA means in Nigerian?
No, what does it mean?
Fool, clown.
Oh my God.
On
And
that
then
note,
another person says the Nazis were inspired by the Manifest Destiny, and the MAGAs were inspired by the 2025 master plan. There is so much on this. I could go on and continue to like.
I
And
love
this is
Reddit.
like,
Reddit is,
this
even
is-
sometimes Reddit can be a bit, but I do like Reddit.
so
I
this
can
is
get
like,
lost for hours in there.
this is from like 3 months ago.
I get lost in Reddit like for
Yeah,
hours.
like there's so much good stuff, and there's also some crap stuff. But
Oh, of course.
I can
No,
see.
there's some disturbing stuff in there, but there are times where I could be in there for 3 or 4 hours just chilling.
Yeah,
Just chilling.
that's insane.
Girl, I sent you I started couponing. I sent you a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. So, thank you everybody that joined our live. Now we are going to end this live. And this was a hot mess. My computer crashed in the middle of it. I ended up moving to another platform, moving to another computer. I'll plan better for next time. I actually named this live a State of the Union, and I forgot to put the not a State of the Union. This was not a State of the Union. This was a Congress address. So that needs to be retitled because it is not a State of the Union, just so you all know. But thank you so much for joining. We hope to do this more often. Hopefully every week we can do a live and we can dive into other conversations and other things that are interesting to you. Have a good day, everyone.